see how big the swell is. Okay. Oh boy. Here's the sketchy part. She's still there. All right. Tipped her over. I don't want to get my phone wet when we launch this thing. Welcome in, guys. How's it going? Got here just in time. We're gonna launch the yak and see if I can't get on some fish. Before we launch, I'll give you guys a bit of rundown on the rig here. This is a Ascend FS10. It is not a saltwater kayak, but it actually handles the swell pretty well, which it doesn't look like we have that much of that today, which I'm thankful for. Two days ago, I was out here and there was 3 foot swell and I was almost rolling over on every second or so. So it was rough, but got some calmer waters today. So we're gonna give it a shot. All right. Get the old life vest on. One of the rules I will never, ever, ever, ever break on a kayak. Because the water is cold as hell out here. Oh, thanks for the like and the sub, Willow Edits. How's it going, Shannon? comes the fun part. Oh. Do I believe in Jesus? I don't deny his existence, but I'm not outwardly religious. Yeah, I don't know what you'd call it. I guess it's some kind of agnosticism. I'm open to the idea. I don't play that down. I like to keep myself open to possibility. Oh, we got a harbor seal checking me out right now as I paddle out. See if I can show him to the camera. There he is. See his little head sticking out, saying hi. Yeah, it is beautiful. This isn't actually a lake, though, surprisingly. This is a bay. We're in saltwater today. Although I really should start fishing lakes soon. Again, about that time of year where the trout are getting stocked, and that's all sorts of fun. Oh, good. The wind died down, so we can get some good drift in. Go out and try and find something like 60 feet of water. I've been having some luck out here recently. It's still pretty slow. It's early in the season, so a lot of fish are still holding deep. Yeah, no big swells, but we are breaking some of this small chop, so I don't try not to get my camera or my phone wet here. So yeah, we're gonna paddle out a good ways. All right, the wind picked up a little, but it's absolutely manageable, and I think the wind is still on a decline, so it should just get better from here. All right. Let's make some distance, some depth. Oh, hello again, Shannon. Welcome back. We are running into some chop here. I got a cold, so I'm fighting that as well. But those are the types of things you can't let get to you on a beautiful day like today. Alright, let's cut up some bait and get some rig going. So I don't know what to expect when I open this bag. It's been sitting out for about a little over 24 hours, but the weather's cold. All right, it's not too rotten to fish with. So as for rig today, welcome in, guys. Just got to our first drop point here. So as for rig today, I am running a glow-in-the-dark rockfish rig. Not necessarily targeting rockfish, but I find these glow-in-the-dark squids to, bring fish in and at depth for sure. And they catch current good. And then we're tipping that I have here some cut squid. Hopefully the fish are in the mood for calamari. If not, I also did bring some herring. When's my next live? Oh, a seal just came up about 20 feet away to say hi. Hello. There he goes. My next live, you know, I don't really do a schedule yet because I am still in school. So it's a little bit iffy creating a schedule. Nothing's set in stone. But high chance I go live tomorrow. There is a chance I go live tomorrow. All right, so here's the rig. And then below that, I got a 4-ounce weight. And we are just going to let the wind and current drag us and bounce that on the bottom and see if I can't hook up here. Let's do ourselves a little depth check. Looking for about 60 feet would be the most ideal. Anything deeper could produce. Oh, that's shallow. We might need to... What is that? Wow, I thought we were deeper. Did I hit a point or something? That can't... That's like 30 feet. Yeah, we gotta go deeper. Yeah, it's still early, so everything's still a little bit deep. Monster koi carp, that's awesome. Yeah, I used to do some carp and koi fishing. If you look, I used to exclusively do carp fishing, but if you look back on my channel, you'll find I caught... I'm not sure if I posted the second one. That might just be on my Instagram, but I caught a monster koi, black and orange he was, in a pond semi-recently. 15 pounds. Yeah, that's awesome. I think mine was around 20. The second one was closer to 30, but I don't know if I have him posted. All right, let's go find some real depth. Shouldn't have to paddle too much further. The drop-off is around here somewhere. In fact, I'm actually gonna kind of be slow about this because I really want to find that drop-off. I haven't been able to yet, and if I do, I know there's gonna be fish on it like crazy. Down she goes. All right, so that's probably about 40, 50. With slate bottom. Okay. Pale. That's cool. Wow, yeah, this chop is really forgiving today. Knock on wood that it stays that way. You know, the other day it was blowing wind with 2-3 foot swell, so I was taking water over the bow and getting dragged across the surface of the water too fast to drift properly, so I didn't really have much of a chance to catch anything. But today we got like 6-inch to a foot swell, and the wind is gracefully mild. All right, let's put one down here. I think we're a ways offshore now, maybe 300, 400 yards offshore. Maybe a little less. All right. Still not quite the depth we're looking for, but we're gonna drag out a bit and see what happens. Who knows? Maybe they moved up a bit since the last time I fished. About that time of year where they should start doing that. Honestly. in the summer, you can come out here and get them in 30 feet of water easy. Well, either we just got a bite or there's rocky bottom. I can't quite tell. That did look fishy though, can't lie. That would be a good sign to get bitten that quickly. That's a fish. Oh, we just got whacked, guys. Hoping he comes back. Getting a bite that early might be a bad omen, I don't know. That did look really fishy though. I don't think that was bottom. Man, this cold is killing me. Are we? There it is. I gotta turn around so I can hold the rod correctly. There we go. I did get a semi-large sized pre-made rig, because I do kind of want to filter out those real small flounder. Does mean I have to take the swell from the side though, which can be a little sketchy, especially when it's this real dicey, like back-to-back swell and not spread out. Try and keep my bow into it here. We are drifting beautifully though. Exactly what we want. There's a bit of wind. It's not going to be light. were so nice to me when I first came out. Come on. Don't be like that. If I absolutely need to, I can paddle up to the point and hide behind that from the wind, but I don't know. I haven't had much luck over there as far as getting bit goes. I really like this big shelf. Paddle out a bit more, get a little deeper, get a little riskier. There's some swell. There we go. Taking it like a champ. There's some depth. We got depth. Now we gotta find out if it's fish holding depth or just empty, barren wasteland down there. Here comes the wind. Like clockwork. This might be the furthest out I've had to go. Let's hope it pays off for something. Got the whole kit and caboodle on the yak right now, including, I think we're drifting too fast at this point to dude, this cold. I have to blow my nose over the side of the boat here soon or something. Anyways, as I was saying, I got another rod here rigged up with a buzz bomb, which is usually for salmon, but I got this glow in the dark one, and I hear they work real good as vertical jigs for bottom fish. So I got that if the current and wind allows. Because you can't fish those in a fast drift like you can a bait rig. Oh, it's going great. Welcome back. Oh, you recommended the Buzz Bomb to me, actually. Yeah. I also did get some darts, but I left the rod with the dart that I have rigged up back at the house. I am between, I believe it's called Mills Point and the Wyndham out on Discovery. Pretty much same place I was at last time you dropped in. But a week later. Yeah. Well, you know, the wind did just die down. I mean, I'm mostly worried about the wind because it blows me away from where I'm jigging and swings the jig up. And I don't, light little rod because it's a small jig, and I always like light tackle fishing. So I'm going to throw that out behind me and then drift and jig over it. We're pretty deep. Oh boy, there's the wind. Yep, already blown over the jig. Yeah, I might go fish that point so I can get behind it and stay out of the wind here. I think that might be the plan. But it's a pretty flat point, so I don't know how well that's going to work. Guess we'll go find out. Yeah. Let's make the paddle over there. Then I don't have to worry about drifting too far past my my pickup point, because I don't feel like paddling upwind later. The sun's already getting a little low. These seals are getting braver every time I come out. How's it going, Grumpy Bass? Welcome back in. I remember you were here last week. I should have brought tissue, man. My nose is killing me. Hopefully the wind cools off tomorrow. I can't stay out too late tomorrow, though, because I got a long drive back home, staying with my mom again, so I got a place right here, close, but gotta head home tomorrow, so maybe I can get a good morning run in and try for something. There's the swell. The things we do for fish. Yeah, no, it's hard. It's you need heavier stuff to keep your bait under you, and even with, because the current's not bad, it's the wind. It pushes me around like I'm a kite in a tornado. So I gotta I like a little bit of wind because I like to drift with my bottom rigs, since I don't have electronics, so I can't find any reefs or something to park over, so I I like to drift with my bait rigs and just drag them and hope I drag it over a fish. But with a jig, I mean, it's, or even the bottom rig for that matter, if the wind's too strong, you just get thrown way too fast. A 100 feet of water with a John boat, yeah, it's not the depth that gets you, it's the chop and the wind. Welcome back, Shannon. Downriggers, lead coral, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how those winter kingfishermen do it with the strong, like, dead winter current and the chop. I've just seen some horrible chop in the winter, and then you just got a little 10-15 foot John boat dinging around in it for the chance at one fish a day, maybe. Those guys are maniacs. Jesus. Feels like I'm going nowhere. Oh, we're making leeway. About to the point where I started my drift. Lakers and Atlantics. They got Atlantics in New York? Adirondacks. No, I fished New York very briefly when I lived in Pennsylvania. Just, I went upstate and dinged around for pike. I know they have decent Laker fishing. I didn't know they had Atlantics though. That's pretty cool. Yeah, when I lived in Chicago, we would go salmon fishing on Lake Michigan. That was fun. Reminded me a lot of here before I moved out of here. £18 Laker, 25-inch Atlantic. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know how big Atlantics get, but that sounds good. I know my dad caught like a 4-foot Laker in Chicago. It was huge. It's insane. He was fat too. It was in the fall. He was all filled out. I think it was in the fall. Must have been. I can kind of see where the water calms behind this point here. Not super big, but they jump like crazy. Kind of like cohos then, yeah. Cohos are evil. They're just mean. I'm kind of scared for coho season on the kayak. I don't know if I really want to hook one, you know. And kings too, 20+ pound king on the kayak would just be nuts. They don't get that big often around here, but when they do, it's real. I landed a 21 6-ounce fish king on a boat in Alaska, and it was still insane. I can only imagine fighting one of those on a yak. They are. Where am I fishing? Discovery Bay. It's a very large bay in Washington off the Strait of Juan de Fuca. Pretty shallow bay, actually. Shockingly shallow for its size. The average depth is like 200 feet. Maybe 190 even. Bit of breeze. 25 pounders in the John boat, yeah. We'll see. I gotta study up on how to target kings and cohos on the kayak. And I think I'll give it a shot, but I don't know, that could get sketchy. Water should be a bit calmer in the summer, so I can go out deeper and fish for them. So, spoons and meat rigs, like a cut plug? What do you mean when you say meat rigs? Oh, I just got salt water in the eye. Biggest things, other boats? Yeah, I will, I'm even kind of worried about that right now when there are no other boats. But yeah, believe me, that's on my mind. Okay, I think this is as calm as the wind is going to get behind the point unless I go to like 20 feet of water, which I might do if I get sick and tired of the wind. But we're going to give this a shot and see. Not too confident, just because I've never had much luck off of here. But I've only probably fished this point for a combined 5 hours ever. So I don't know anything about it. Okay, we are somewhat deep. I'm gonna turn the camera around and blow my nose out. Oh. Oh, that feels unfathomably good. All right. Well, we're fishing the point now. And the wind is already blowing me off my rig. You know, I've yet to get a fish on stream. The first time I caught one out here, I was not streaming or doing anything. It was before I started streaming on the kayak because I was scared to pull my phone out on the kayak even. Second time I caught one, I had finished streaming for the day and I was drifting back to my pickup point. You know, I was drift fishing on the way back and I got a flounder. I was so stoked. I mean, that's kind of the target species right now. Troll it. Plastic face with a flashy colors and you put a strip of cut bait on it. Okay. I ain't heard of guys doing that out here, but I'll have to look into that. I take as much advice as I can get from people who actually know what they're doing. Try and use Google as little as possible when I can. That's for Great Lakes. Okay. Yeah, maybe I should do a little video out here where I take salmon fishing tactics from like different parts of the world, whether that be Norway or Great Lakes, and try them out on the West Coast. Very similar fish, but a lot of different methods used. Yeah, no, I mean, for sure. Yeah, that'd be interesting, especially when I get a boat eventually. Really put everything to the test. Do like, 2 rods with West Coast rigs, and then 1 rod with a, 1 rod with a West Coast rig, 1 rod with a Norwegian rig, and then 1 rod with a Great Lakes rig, and see what works. Spoons at least work. Yeah, we do both use trolling spoons. I know that. I'm gonna have to stock up on those. Coho killers, hoochies, king spoons. The whole kit and caboodle. Let's see a fish. Come on. Oh, we're actually like past the tip of the point here. Be awesome to hook something like a dogfish on the kayak. Fighting a little shark out of 60 feet of water on a bass rod. Like I said, I'm a sucker for light tackle. How deep? I would probably say 50, 55 feet at this current state. But somewhere between me and like 50 yards to my right, there's a steep drop off, and I really ought to go find it sometime. But it's just so tedious finding bottom structure without electronics. Even if you know it's rough location, you gotta like drift a little, drop, drift a little, drop, drift a little, drop. Was that a bite? That looked rather fishy. Snaggy? No. Shockingly, no, I have not snagged. I guess not too shockingly. Oh, that's a bite. Bite. Oh. Come back, you bastard. We just got whacked. It might have been small. Like I said, I am running a little bit of a plus size rig just to try and stay out of those little ones. He might come back. Yeah, that's true. I'm used to them not coming back because I do a lot of freshwater fishing in places that are a lot more pressured, So like if a fish bites and feels anything off, they'll just ignore it. But saltwater, I have noticed they're a little bit more likely to come back. From my experience. There he is. He's back. Yep, he's back. Wow, okay. Yeah, he's got to be small. I just missed him again. It's probably a dinky little sculpin or a small flounder. The swell right here is worse than the wind, thankfully. I really do want to catch a fish on stream. I think that'd be awesome. I don't even care if it's target species. I've caught on stream before, but not since I moved out west again. I think it'll happen in the summer at least, for sure. If not today, hopefully, or tomorrow. But yeah, in the summer when the bay is full of dogfish, that's gonna be so fun. I'm wondering if he took my bait. Blade baits, like little bladed, like those blade lipless crankbaits. Is that what you're referencing? Used to fish those for perch. If so, I would probably go 1 ounce. That might work in the summer for flounder pretty well. Yeah, I'm gonna do a bait check and then I'm gonna paddle back up. There's some really steep clay banks over there that I really want to go try and fish sometime. Still got all my bait. Welcome back, Bobby Lee. Oh, I lost one of my squid chunks. Get something out here. I'll do the back section of this squid head. That'll should stay on the hook better. And then I'll also do the tentacle base and all the tentacles. Flat metal fish. Yeah. Yeah, we used to fish those for perch. With good success too. Those things are cool. Yeah, no, I might do like a Q&A post and have all my subscribers like name baits they want to see me try out in the saltwater. And then invest in some baits and come out and do a day where I just fish random baits. All right, let's paddle back up to the fish those clay banks. One's by the park for salmon. Okay. Yeah, wait. The park, which park? I'll have to look at a map. Have you had success with salmon over there? Or? I mean, if you fished it all the time, then I would imagine so. Yeah, that's, I've always thought about that, how, you know, a lot of people try stuff, but 99% of people stick with what everybody uses because they know it works. And, you know, if you can find a hidden secret, find something the fish have never seen before and that they like, who knows, maybe that'll, you know, let you catch fish when nobody else is catching fish. Yeah, that'd be pretty fun. Probably be a pretty slow day fishing stuff that might not work here, but when you find something that works. Okay, yeah, there's about 60, I would say, 60 feet. I really want to get a pedal drive yak with a bridge right here so that I can put electronics on it. Because at that point, it's just a matter of looking at a map now. Awesome. Yeah, at that point, it's just a matter of paddling around until you find a pile of rocks with some marks on it, and then sitting there and fishing it. We got bit. No, he's gone. Oh, I'm getting tapped on the way. We got fish here. We got a little something going on down there, guys. Felt real small. But maybe there's a predator nearby. You're more inland? Okay. So I'm... That looks fishy. I'm gonna paddle back up over that and let that hunt. Yeah, we got tapped. I think we've found a little something, but it was small, so I'm just hoping something bigger's. Yeah, exactly. That's always been the case in my experience as well. Something's gotta eat them. Yeah, you know what? While that's fishing, I'm gonna get a little something going here. We got, if there is a bigger predator down there that is eating whatever was tapping me, I think he'll appreciate a bigger chunk of meat. Ugh. Had to blow my nose again. Claybanks by the Narrows Bridge. Okay. Yeah, I live over there. So I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I do want to try and get the yak out over there too. I have another kayak at home that I want to fish over there. Yeah, let's do solid swells for the kayak. Okay, that'll be fun. I used to fish under the bridge on a boat, not directly under it, but like a good few 100 yards off of it on my stepdad's boat, and we would just fish for dogfish. All right, we got slightly larger chunk of herring that I am putting on this upper hook here, like so, in case there's a little something bigger home down there. You know, dogfish, halibut, perchance. We do have halibut out here, out near the strait, but I hear they are rare. Yeah, that's deep. That's real deep. Yeah. Some of my first memories ever fishing are from there, when I was knee-high. It's where my dad took me. Which I guess isn't that long ago relative to a lot of people, but... Ooh. You hate catching dogfish? I love him. You know, For me, they're fun because they're a lot easier to catch than something like a salmon, but they're big, and it's all about the fight for me. So, having an easily accessible, larger fish is something I will always appreciate. Now, I obviously do love fishing for salmon, but sometimes if I'm having a dry spell, I'll just go dog fishing. Boosts the spirits, makes for a good picture. Yeah, no, for sure. If I'm salmon fishing, I don't like seeing them. There was a bite. No, that is something about this point over here. I've never actually caught a fish here, but I do get a lot of really small bites. I think that was a tap. I do think the smaller fish use it as cover from the current while they're growing and building muscle. Be cool to come over here with a sabiki rig and, catch herring or little sculpin for bait for dogfish. Or fresh cut plug. They fight good, but ruin gear. Yeah, that is true. You can eat them, it's just not worth the effort. You gotta soak them in buttermilk overnight so the toxins leach out of their meat. And then I hear they taste like cod. But at that point, just go flounder fishing, Yeah, exactly, we do. When I lived in Pennsylvania in the winter, when there wasn't any ice, but the fish were all sluggish, I would go to the creek and fly fish for bluegill. You don't eat them? Yeah, no, it's not worth it. I know people that do. I don't know why. I'll be out on the dock and I'll catch one and somebody will come up to me, yo, can I get that? Like, I guess. I always tell them, I'll give you a flounder if you want something easy. But I don't know, they insist. Some people swear by it. Yeah. Commencement, that's where I do my dog fishing, is off of the Les Davis. Or if you know where Les Davis Pier is, that's a pretty popular place. Or Point Defiance Marina has a good pier. Once again, we have been bit by something minuscule. I really got to put a little trailer hook, like a tiny one off the back with like a tiny piece of squid. Yeah. I never thought about that. I never realized it. But yeah, I guess that makes sense. Because that does prevent people from just saying, "Oh, my friend gave it to me." Really? Will they ticket you? That's wild. Most of the game wardens I've met over in Tacoma are pretty chill, but I've only run into a handful, so... My friend did tell me a story. He pulled up to the dock in his boat. They didn't even see crabbing gear. It was last day of crab season. There was no crabbing gear on the boat. The game warden walks up. "Let me see your crabs." "No crabs? Let me search. Let me search the boat." He was pretty pissed. Huh. Wow, yeah, that's wild. A lot of them take their jobs real serious. Makes sense. Especially if you're in a populated area with a high population of people that disregard rules, you got to be kind of strict. That's a bite. I'm gonna let him eat. Open the bail. And he's gone. It's so slow. Yeah, we are getting low on light. See it in the rivers? Yeah. I don't river fish personally, but you get a lot of people in the rivers, shoulder to shoulder at times, just doing as they please. There's a lot of rules being broken up there, I would imagine. They're also getting more strict with boats now, I hear, too, as far as... Okay, we got we're getting absolutely whacked down there. Maybe there's like a school of herring just hitting my line. Warden Training Station on the Salmon River. That's, yeah. Sounds rough. I don't know. I feel like every warden is like either they're the chillest people ever or they'll bust you for anything. Eat it. Eat it. Two-inch, what? They'll ticket you for leader length? That's wild. Yeah. Yeah, I got a friend that fishes the river. He fishes the Puyallup River. I want to try that this next season. If I can't, well, if I can't get them on the yak, I will. If I can figure out how to catch on the yak, then there's no reason for me to go upriver. Keep cadence? Yup. That's how it is on the pier, too. That's insane. Yeah, that feels like they're just hunting for crap to ticket you on. Sizing you up through binoculars is crazy. Is that a fish or is that rocks? That might be rocks. Yeah. Looks like I found a rock patch. That's good news. You know what likes rocks? Fish. Fish like rocks. Fish the puke? What's the puke? Maybe I should keep it like this so you guys can see the rod. You guys prefer that, or do you guys like seeing my reactions? Yeah, that'd be awesome. I would appreciate any mentorship I can get. Just gotta try and get out before I get shipped out to Alaska to slave away on the cod boat. Can I have a fish, Ocean? please. Might have to head in and lick my wound soon. Or at least stop trying to stay over it so much and drift in. You know, I guess I kind of already am. The puke. Okay, I will remember that. Won't seem like an outsider. Try and blend in so I don't get hung by all the bank fishermen. You vape? Yeah, that's fine. I don't judge. I try not to. I do smoke weed, so it's, I don't know if I can talk about that on here, but oh well. I do dabble in weed, but I have been off of it for a while because I gotta be able to pass a drug test at any point for the, for the boat job. It's not like I was addicted or anything, but socially. Gotta sleep. All right, hey man. Thanks for stopping by. You know, as much as I want to make money off of a YouTube or an Instagram and, make a living from that, having a smaller following seems like it's so much more fun, because I see all these bigger YouTubers streaming and there's just so many random comments. It's just like a bunch of bull crap. And they won't even reply to their comments on their long form. Okay. Right, okay, yeah, that's... I mean, I have noticed a lot of the fishing community is like that. They're really chill, but, there's always those few. And I joke a lot. Is it mostly fly fishing or float fishing or a little bit of both? Because I do fly fish a little bit. I think it'd be really fun to get a big salmon on the fly rod. See the bait sitch going on. Wow, we are deeper than I thought. Still got all the bait on there. It's good, I suppose. I'm gonna go shallower. That first drop where I got bit in 30, 40 feet of water gave me hope for the spring and summer season. There's about 200 acres of logging land behind where my mom lives that I really want to go explore. There's a decently sized retention pond in the middle of it. But I don't know the legality of that, And I doubt there's a high likelihood of there even being fish in a pond of that size. Yeah, man. If I'll tell you what, if you ever decide to take me out on the river, I'll bring 2 fly rods and see if I can teach you. I mostly do it for trout and bass, but sure, if I tie on an egg pattern, probably get a salmon to eat. Woo! You know, I do mostly use spinning rods as well, but I do like the power bait casters give me, especially and the gear ratio. So if I'm fishing real deep stuff, I like being able to crank up fast. But yeah, I am mostly a spinning guy as well. To be honest, you floated eggs, yeah? I mean, I would imagine it works. I hear people use actual eggs like you, like cured eggs, cured roe. But I don't know. I would think an egg pattern fly would work. I can't think of a reason it wouldn't. Woo! Oh, that was a little sketch. Let's give it a drop. This will be my last drop for the day. Oh, you have a fly rod? Do you know what weight? I got a 7 weight that I would imagine could probably handle a salmon, but a lot of guys prefer 8 weights for salmon. Yeah, no, I don't like bait casters bird's nesting either. That's why I really only use them for deep dropping, because they don't really backlash like that if you're just fishing straight up and down. It's really only when you're casting. Well, that's a big roller. It's like constant boat weight. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up. I'm cold. I want to go lick my wounds and put a pizza in the oven. 50-year-old fly rod. You know, I have to say, I would love to see somebody catch a salmon on a 50-year-old fly rod. That would be pretty cool to watch. I am a bit of a sucker for vintage gear. Always was a history guy. You'll do it? Yeah, let's. That'd be pretty sick. It's always a little bit adrenaline inducing when you start breaking them over the front like that. Yeah, yesterday I had a couple wash over the front of my kayak and spill water on my jeans. It was a cold paddle home. I'm not even going in the direction of my house right now. I'm just trying to get close to shore so I can paddle back in relative safety. Ugly stick. Not the red one. GX2. About half of my rods are ugly stick GX2s. Never snapped one, and I've snapped a lot of rods. None of them were uglies. £20 braid or 19 mono or 15 mono. For what, the rivers? Excuse my French. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the classics too. I love ugly sticks. Walk into a Bass Pro Shops with $400, you could either buy one, Fluger or one Daiwa that's gonna snap on you in a year, or you could buy 4 ugly stick GX2s. You could probably get 6 ugly sticks with $400, and you'll have them for the rest of your life. They're so cool, cheap and effective. Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to hook a king on a pink setup and have him get into the current and drag me to Timbuktu. When I was in Alaska, I did a little bit of creek fishing, and that we would fish pink jigs, and we would just jig it in the current and get a pink or a king. Sometimes the cohos would eat the pink too. Whoa. Water is so calm here. Wait. Let me get the jig out. I'm really pushing my time here. I do not want to paddle in the dark. But I also like catching fish, so. Wow, okay, it's pretty deep here. I do like Fluger reels. Those are worth the buck. Ugly stick reels tend to wear down. like the ones that come pre-on there. So I like to, I've found that rods tend to wear down faster than the reels. So I do have a tendency to reuse reels. But yeah. Hello, seal. Man, it's even calmer over there in the real shallow stuff. Do you think a king or a Springer coho would eat a buzz bomb? Because I hear they're mostly for pigs. Ten cranks, a little more time between jigs, and less aggressive. All right, I will do that as soon as I get over here. Just a tip. If there are seals, there are fish. Yeah, I mean, what else are they eating, right? But like I said earlier, I was wondering if there was just like a school of herring that was hitting my line when I was getting all those taps. Or candlefish, smelt, whatever you want to call them. But I also, to add to your point, if there are herring or candlefish, there will be bigger fish. So oh, that's a big eagle. Yeah, I guess it could have been a crab. I don't know. They were pretty aggressive taps, like something like that. I've noticed crab are more of a fondle than a bite, but it definitely could have been. This is the time of day when the glow-in-the-dark buzz bomb will help, hopefully. Wait, did I just get whacked? What the heck? What is happening? That was the weirdest 5 seconds of fishing I've ever experienced. If that was a bite, it was the weirdest bite I've ever experienced. Yeah. Well, because when you pull up, it's just a straight motion, but when it's on the drop, it like flutters down. Looks like an injured fish. There's the wind again. I'm trying to stay over my jig. Thank you very much. You're hitting bottom? I was about 5 cranks off, and I twitched it up, about a foot like you said earlier, and it like fluttered down, and then my line just stopped. It was stuck in slack, and I picked it up again, and there was like a lot of resistance. So I don't know if I found kelp or... And then after that, I fluttered it back down, but I followed it down with my tip so I could feel anything sensitive. And there was a lot of commotion. I don't know, I'm not good at jigging. Maybe that's a common experience. Maybe that's supposed to happen. Maybe it was a fish. $10 cranks, okay. Do a few more then. I should be at about 7 cranks now. I do kind of have my mind set on flounder right now, because it's probably the only thing I'm allowed to keep this time of year. But so I am a little bit closer to bottom, but well, if I hooked a 5-foot rock, that's a really good thing, because that's big enough cover to hold fish year round. I hope I hit a 5-foot rock there. Might have to remember this spot when lingcod season rolls around. That's it. Cut my losses for today. But I'm going to come back to this spot tomorrow, noting my location. There's a cut bank right there. There's that 95 Subaru something. And then there's a mid-90s Subaru right there. And then I'm probably 20 feet in from the point. Pulling a dang fish. You know, if there's anybody in this stream that wants to see a fish get caught, it's me. But I'm cold as hell. I got a cold, so I'm sick. And the sun is all but set. I don't want to paddle in the dark, but I sure as hell don't want to flip in the dark. Not know which way shore is. So I think I'm done for the day. Yeah, I really need a depth finder. I might have the answer to my problems in the garage. I'm gonna go to the garage and find the answer to my problem. I think I have an old beeper that I bought for ice fishing that I should just be able to drop off the side of my kayak. and drag it along. And I have like an app on my phone, a deeper app. The issue is I can't stream and look at the app at the same time. Buy a used one, 50 bucks? Wow. I might have to get on Marketplace tonight. A lot of stuff I want for this kayak, or a kayak. I guess the biggest thing I want is an actual pedal drive sit-on kayak. A bit more stable, and I don't have to paddle, so I can troll. You know, I kind of want to go all into kayak fishing. Even when I move up to Alaska, I feel like kayak fishing in Alaska would just be so sick. $9.35 for you? Yeah, it's about $7.35 for me. So I'm well overdue for some dinner. Whoa, we're back. Don't know what happened there. My guess is a drop of water hit the X. Yeah, we are West Coast. West Coast, best coast. I guess I'm not a true local, but I was born here. Okay, I guess I can do a little bit more jigging. The water is stupid flat right here. I appreciate that. It's weird, I never felt local anywhere because I moved around so often until now. You know, I lived here for a while, and then I moved to Chicago, and then I moved to Pennsylvania. Oh, yeah. Get an evening bite on the glow-in-the-dark buzz bomb. See it happen. I did come home. Yeah, no, every second I was gone, I missed this place. The air is so much fresher. If only I could breathe it in right now. Air's fresher. I think the people are nicer. The fishing's better. My other friend was born here, and I met him in Pennsylvania, but he was also born here, and he was planning on coming back. I had a bunch of plans with him. We were gonna... I'm back. Oh yeah, no, that's something I gotta start doing about that time of year, to go troll trout plugs out on the lakes. It's like an easier version of salmon fishing, isn't it? And that's something you can do on a yak easily. Mineral Lake, okay. I go to Lake Stilcombe, if you're familiar. A lot of good trout in there. Year round, you can usually find some fish in there. There's also good bass in there as well if you're that type of angler. Oh, that sounds awesome. I used to camp and fish in Pennsylvania. Got some fun stories there. I should never have doubted you. It's a cool lake. It's just got, a lot of pressure since it's so public. But I've had some good times there. Oh wow, okay. That sounds like something worth looking into. Is it kayak accessible? Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna head in. It's getting a little bit sketchy even for me, and I have done some dumb stuff while fishing. I think it'd be fun to do wrong holder. I think it'd be fun to do a little like a storytelling stream sometime. Come out and maybe if I start trolling from a kayak with a pedal drive, I can just troll and talk. Sorry about that. Alder has kokanee. Okay. Are those easy to catch kokanee or the annoyingly difficult kokanee? Because I've experienced both in different bodies of water. I did, what lake is it? It's on the Olympic Peninsula and it has kokanee. I did 2 days straight of fishing there. Nothing. Not even a bite. But then there was another lake, it was too long ago for me to truly remember it, but I did another lake here where it was like every 5 minutes we caught one. Oh wow. They're in packs. Wow, okay. And do you just fish for those the same way you fish for trout, or? because I was trolling on the kayak, I was trolling a little casting spoon. And I was not catching. Because I know kokanees are a type of sockeye, but you can't really target sockeye with lures like in the salt. Actual, like, true sockeye you can't target with lures. Yeah, once I get a sit on, I can night fish too. Get a boat light for it. And with Garmin, night fishing will be a doozy. Really? Kokanee on a bobber and worm. That sounds awesome. Wow, look at this glass water. If only it was like this all afternoon. Hopefully this calmness carries into tomorrow and it's not just a nighttime thing, because I know that can be the case. Oh, I'm still a ways off before I can cut in. Ugh. What a slog. You think I could? I don't know. I've done probably 4 nights in total where I sit out there for 4 hours with my distance gear and have caught nothing but a rock crab that got tangled in my line. But I've caught 2 off the yak. Is that slow fishing everywhere? Yeah. Tell me about it. When do you think it'll pick up? Think I'll have to wait until like May or something, or do you think it'll get good later this month or in April? There's also a ton of clams here, but I can't keep them. A, because it's not season, and B, because there's like biotoxins in the water and there's signs everywhere, which sucks because I love clam. Paddled over about 20 like good sized butter clams. And there's oysters. Here we are. second week of April, and then strong through till September. Wow, okay. I gotta get more speed for that landing so I can actually step off the front. I've met a ton of people that are like, oh no, the bottom fishing's awesome all year. And it feels like they're lying to my face, to be honest. And then I Google it, and every source I look at says, oh yeah, it's great all year if you're in the right spot. Which maybe it is. Maybe they're right. That's a beaut. Oh, my legs, they're jello. Okay, so same time as the Puyallup Fair is when the salmon come in. Got it. Oh, Lord. Getting off the front of a kayak is never not going to be sketchy. Like, yeah, look at the size of this butter clam. I think that's a butter clam. Maybe a horse clam. I mean, he's not alive, but there's a ton of big ones out here. And oysters. It's too dark for me to look for. There's one. Right there. If only they were in season and the biotoxins were gone. Let's put the bait back in the bag that I'm going to keep because I am running low and I don't want to go into town. Leave some for the seagulls so they don't come for the bag itself. Then I'm going to fold the bag. And I'm going to put my gear box on top of it so that I don't have to unpack the whole thing overnight. So I can just come back down. Whoa, I zoomed in. I didn't know you could do that. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, I know they're... Oh. This is not a light kayak. Oh, my rig came undone. That's no bueno. It wrapped. What's up, Pyro? We're about at the end of the stream. Oh, God. That's another thing I'm absolutely gonna look for when I inevitably buy a sit-on pedal drive is weight. Because when I tell you, dragging this hunk of godless plastic up this beach every day is not fun, I mean it. And it's even worse at the end of the whole trip when I have to drag it up the ladder. Forgot to take the life vest off down there. All right, I'll see ya if you decide to stop by. Appreciate the support as usual. Have a good evening. Ooh. Jesus, this is so sketchy. Really gotta figure this out better this summer. Instead of rappelling up this freaking hacksaw ridge bull crap. Ladder 2 out of 2.